future of the B-2 and the F-22, and it worked.
Morning, sir. Major Ken Hills, Flight 35. Asking you to think back to when you were the wing commander at Al Udeid, and now we're almost a decade past that time, and Al Udeid has become more of a enduring base or a pseudo-enduring base with deployees, command sponsorship, families, etc., where it's become almost routine to deploy there, and it's just normal. It's what we do, which is kind of different than Desert Storm, where we went there, we accomplished the mission, and we pretty much came home, with the exception, of course, Northern Watch and Southern Watch. Do you believe that this enduring entrenchment in the Middle East is causing us to not achieve a decisive victory, and it's just normal to continuously deploy there for the next decade or a couple of decades?
I wouldn't call it entrenchment, I would call it a presence. I think it's no different than our presence in Korea or in Europe, NATO. I think it's required because we have to have something over there. Al Udeid is the right base to keep in my mind because it has the kayak, so all the planning can be done there. It does have the housing now. It's built up. It's got a gym better than any I've ever seen in the Air Force. You can have 2 drinks of alcohol a week. At least that's what it used to be. I don't know, what is it now? But they have a pool. I'm not sure I'd want to go over there with my family, but it is an option. But I think we need to keep that presence over there just because we need to be there. We need to be able to talk to them like General Horner said. And it's, if you don't know them, you can't. It's very difficult. So I engage with the Qatari commander all the time. Sometimes it was easy, sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes they'd forget what they promised, but not being there would not be the answer. So I'll leave it up to our leadership now on how many bases we need over there, but we need some type of presence in my mind.
So I got a follow-up for you before we hand it over to your closing remarks.
Okay.
So your thoughts on air power. You mentioned during your time at ACSC in 1992, a paper that you had authored on the use of air power during Desert Storm. You got some mixed reviews.
Yeah.
So curious to hear about that.
So I wrote a paper that air power could have won Desert Storm by itself. It just would have taken a little longer. I firmly believe that. There are other services that don't. The Navy at Naval War College at the time, post-Desert Storm, was briefing that there was not an air campaign. I won't comment anymore on that. The Army, to them, it was a 100-hour war. And if you go through the halls of the Pentagon down Army Corridor, that's what it says. So, okay. But to me, yes, we would have had to have troops on the ground for them to surrender to. I mean, Iraqis have surrendered to predators. I said, looking up at a predator. But you know, you need somebody to take care of all that. I'm not saying the 100-hour war wasn't required. I think it was. It did a good job. But I think air power proved what it could do and is still proving what it could do. And I think all the services now understand that. I don't think we get the credit. We, the Air Force, gets the credit it deserves with the American people, the news media, or Congress, because we're humble, like me. and I don't normally talk about what I'm talking about right here, but you brought me here to talk about it, so I am. But you know, we don't do a good job telling what we do. You know, oh, we've been at war in Iraq for 10 years. 10 years? The Air Force has been over there since 1990. So, you know, but sometimes they forget that. And you know, I'm not sure what you all studied this year, but, you know, this in lieu of training we were doing, where we were supporting the other services because we were looking for something to do, I guess. I don't know. I think that was all bad because we got away from what we do as airmen. And I think we need to get back to that, and I think General Goldfein is taking us all back to that. You know, the squadron initiatives he's looking at, for those of you that are going to take over squadrons, you know, you start it all. It's up to you to help fix it, because your people are going to be looking up to you. And so help him help the Air Force.
Yes, sir. Floor is yours for any closing remarks.
Okay, so I'll just close up. In 1992, 25 years ago, I was sitting out there and never thought I would do what I did. The first gentleman that introduced us this morning called us legends. I think there are 7 legends here. I'm a legend in my own mind, as my wife tells me. But you're the future. You will be legends. And I think in the next couple minutes, you will have one of your classmates up here that is also going to be a legend. And with that, I'll close. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.